Welcome to Long Road's open evening, everyone, and thank you so much for staying so late. I know we've been busy all evening, but the 7:30 to 8 slot hopefully will be really interesting for you. I've got some fantastic students who I want to ask some questions to. I've got a couple of year ones and a couple of year twos. So let's get started straight away. I suppose, first of all, you need to know who I am. And I'm Tim Whitaker. I'm one of the heads of studies at Long Road. I also do a bit of teaching as well. But my job is on the pastoral side and the guidance team side. And you'll find out, hopefully, in the next half hour, what we do to sort of help our students enjoy and get the best out of Long Road over their 2 or 3 years with us. So let's get straight ahead and see who we've got. I want to introduce you to our first wonderful student. It's Daisy. Daisy, would you like to tell us your full name, please, and the school you went to and the subjects you study?
Yes, so my name's Daisy and I went to Chesterton Community College. I'm in year 12 and I'm studying A-level biology, psychology and politics.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Daisy. I've got a couple of questions if I could ask you. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're a year 1, are you?
Yes.
Okay, so why did you choose to study at Long Road?
Well, I chose to study at Long Road for a few reasons. Firstly, when I went for my interview, the teacher who I spoke with, I just felt like they really cared about me as an individual and about my individual interests. I also really liked all the outdoor space that the college has to offer. And I really liked all the courses, like especially the A-level biology course. I think overall, I just thought that Long Road would be a really good fit for me. And I think I definitely made the right decision.
That's lovely to know. Thank you for that. So what is it like then moving up to college from Chesterton?
I think it's definitely very different from secondary school. But I like the fact that you get lots of free periods, so you can get your work done during the day, and then in the evening you can do hobbies and things like that. And it's also really important that you learn to manage your time well. But I think the best thing about moving up to college is that you get to do subjects that you really enjoy.
Okay, and do you enjoy your 3 subjects?
Yeah, they're really interesting.
Fantastic. But I'm sure, am I right? You said biology, politics and psychology. Now, I'm pretty sure you did biology at Chesterton, but did you do politics and psychology there?
No, I didn't do either of them.
Okay, so what's it like then learning 2 brand new subjects?
It's definitely a big learning curve. There's a lot of sort of basics that, because you haven't done any sort of foundation in it, you need to learn. So you kind of have to start from scratch. But I find both of those subjects really, really interesting. So it's definitely worth it if you're really passionate about it.
That's fantastic. And you said there when you had the interview, you had an interview with a very nice teacher and all that. And were all these new subjects to you properly explained so you knew what you were kind of signing up for?
Yeah, they were. The teacher who interviewed me, I think had actually done some of the subjects at A-level.
Daisy, has your mic gone off? There you go. That's it. If you could just say that again for us.
The teacher who interviewed me had done some of the subjects for A-level, so he was explaining what they entailed, and yeah, it just sounded really good.
Good, that's fantastic. You mentioned there that you like sort of Long Road and you like the sort of atmosphere and the college itself. It's a big place, Long Road. Was it difficult for you to find your way around the college?
I actually didn't find it very difficult to find my way around. I think it's really clearly laid out. There's signs everywhere, and you only really have to remember the locations of a few classrooms. And you can always ask a teacher if you get lost, but I would recommend maybe in the first week or so just leaving a few extra minutes so that you can find your way to lessons.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Yeah, I still, after 17 years, get lost around college, but that's my fault. No one else's. It's my excuse for being late. That's what it is. But thank you for that, Daisy. Let's ask Tom some questions. Tom, hi. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Okay. Tell me your full name. Tell me what year you're in, the secondary school you went to, and the subjects you are studying, please.
Yes, I'm Tom. I'm in my 2nd year. I went to Stone Village College and I'm doing A-level history, English and psychology.
Okay, you enjoying them?
Yeah, loving them.
Okay, and I heard you say psychology there, so that was a new subject for you when you started last year.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, fantastic, good stuff. Tom, I'm interested in this. We've got a slogan, we've got a tagline, a strapline, whatever you want to call it, which is belong. What does that mean to you?
So I think to me, it's really about being part of something that's more than just, a sixth form college. It's more than just somewhere where you go and you get taught a couple of things that you then sit in an exam. And it's being part of like a family almost, where everyone kind of welcomes you for just you, and it's a really friendly and welcoming atmosphere.
Okay, yeah. So was that from day one you felt that sort of vibe?
Yeah, it was. I think from the second you get here, really, all the staff they try and welcome you and they make you feel as comfortable as you can be here.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're not saying this is just the students feeling like they belong at Long Road, but actually it's the teachers as well help you to feel belonging?
Yeah, I think everyone kind of feels a part of it. Like the students, the teachers, the support staff, they all feel like they belong together.
That's fantastic news. That's really good to know. You mentioned there the support staff there. What support is there for students?
So you get a progress coach when you start who kind of helps you through the beginning niggles and then everything you need throughout your rest of your 2-3 years here. And then, there's academic support who are there to make sure you can achieve the best that you possibly can. And there's peer mentors as well, which I'm actually a peer mentor this year, and they're there just to help you less the academic stuff and more just the, when you're struggling with like the workload or like just it's a new place and you just need someone to talk to about that. There's always somebody there.
Fantastic. You mentioned progress coach. Who's your progress coach?
My progress coach is Lisa, and she's fantastic.
Okay, and that's fantastic. So you're a year 2. Are you applying to university then?
Yeah, I've just finished doing my personal statement now and sent that off again to Lisa.
Okay, so Lisa helps you and supports you with that. When you say sent it off again, how many times has Lisa and you sort of had a little bit of a chat about this personal statement?
This is my 3rd personal statement I've sent off now.
Okay, but you're happy with it now, yeah?
I'm happy with it now.
That's brilliant stuff. Okay then. Now, Tom, it's different this year to last year. What's this blended learning been like this year, the virtual and on-campus learning? Could you explain how that's gone for you, please?
It's definitely different when I first started. But I mean, in some aspects, it's much nicer. Every other week I get a lay-in. I don't have to get to travel into Cambridge. I get to stay in bed for much longer. But then, on the downside, you're not in college. It isn't quite the same not being with everybody. But I think the college has done the best they can really to kind of make it feel that like it's the same. You still feel like you're getting a good hour and a half lesson with an entire class, even though you're sat at home, like on your own, realistically.
Okay, that's interesting. So when you're online and at home and you've got up 5 minutes before your lesson, Tom, are you saying that the teacher therefore is doing kind of like what we're doing now and sort of talking you through whatever topic is that sort of lesson for the day?
Yeah, so most of my lessons go that I'll log on to Teams and then they teach the lessons as if they would in the class. So there's the PowerPoint that's shared on the screen, all of the rest of the classes there, we kind of go through it. And most of my classes, every lesson we do like independent, like little breakout groups. So like we're in like groups of 3 or 4 in a video call, like working through stuff. And then we get back together to kind of consolidate that.
Okay, that's really interesting. It's good to know. So even though you, and I'm sure Flean, who we're going to talk to in a minute, is another year 2, and of course Natty and Daisy would all prefer to be in college all the time, actually we're getting through this pretty difficult period, are we?
Yeah, we are. It's different, it definitely is, but it still feels connected and as normal as it possibly can.
Yeah, okay, that's good. It's a struggle for us teachers as well, and the best thing for us is to have you students in college and belonging with us, dare I say, and we're all getting through it together. So we would love to have you back full time as well, and hopefully one day we will, sooner rather than later. So thanks for that, Tom. That's been really helpful. Fleeing, could I ask you some questions, please?
Yes.
Okay, give us your full name. I want to know what school you went to, what year you're in, and the subjects you are studying, please.
Hi guys, my name is Finfoloa Adeyemi, and my secondary school was Castamano Academy, and I currently study Media and Business Level 3 Diploma, and I'm in year 13.
Okay, fantastic. So what are diplomas? You mentioned there media and business. What do you mean by diploma?
So a diploma is just equivalent to A levels in case you weren't able to do A level, or it could just be by choice. Maybe you just want to do something more practical, because A level, at the end of the day, you do exams, but for diploma, you do coursework and then you get to do projects. So it's more for people who wants to do practical and hands-on things.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Right, now that's interesting. Now, Tom told us a few minutes ago that he was applying to university. He was busy doing his personal statements. And can you apply to university doing diplomas as well?
Yes, of course. It's so equivalent to A level. So if you got A star in A level, it's equivalent to getting a D star in diploma. So it's literally the same. You can do anything you want. You could go to uni. You can do apprenticeship. It's not really limiting. It's just depending on your choice of what you want to do at college.
Okay, and dare I ask, are you going to apply to university now, or are you going to go on to an apprenticeship? What's your future?
I'm going on to university.
And to study what?
I would like to study media and communications.
Media communications. So you are on exactly the right courses then, by the sound of it.
Yes.
Okay. And now I was cheeky enough to ask Tom how many times he'd done his personal statement. Have you been sort of wrestling with your personal statement too?
Yeah, I've gotten 4 drafts. I got the 4th draft today and I have to do it. So I don't know if it's going to be 5 drafts before it gets completed.
That's really interesting, actually, because and thank you for sharing that. I'm really sort of so proud of the both of you for telling us you do lots of drafts. That's helpful, because of course the other 2 wonderful students that are with us tonight are in year 12 or year 1, and they will be going hopefully through the same process as you next year. So it sounds like the sort of advice you might be given to Daisy and Natty is, don't think you're just going to do it straight away. There's quite a bit of work to go with this university application. Am I right, Fian?
Yes, and I think they shouldn't feel bad if they see the first draft. It's just like, it's mostly about the first draft is not going to be perfect. Obviously, you're just writing things about you. And then it goes on to making it strong, making it perfect. And it actually doesn't have to be perfect. It just have to be about you and telling the university.
Okay. Yep.
So I don't think it ends at the first step. It's literally the first draft. Is the first step of you writing a personal statement.
That's really helpful. Thank you. Okay, that's good. And your progress coach helping you a lot?
Yes, my progress coach is helping a lot. He's really tried for me.
That's fantastic. That's good to know. Now, what's the favourite thing then about being a Long Road student as a year 13 student?
Honestly, I think the environment is so friendly. The teachers are so supportive. The students are friendly. It's like I can be a very clumsy person, and I could just forget where I'm meant to, like, because even till now I don't know everywhere in Long Road, and maybe I could just get lost. I'm just like, sorry, do you know where this block is? And then everyone is just so nice. I don't know why. I think it's because half of my first year was done at home, so I still cannot figure everywhere to go to. But everyone is nice in college, and it's really my favorite thing about that you can belong to somewhere and be part of a family.
Yeah, that's lovely. And I feel part of the family too. And obviously, I'm not the only one who still asks people, where is F block, where's G12 and all that. So it's good to know that there's other people as well who get lost in this beautiful big college of ours. Fantastic stuff. Now, you mentioned there about being clumsy, and I'm sure you're not as clumsy as you think you are, but it did make me think of another question, and that is, how should our new students coming up next year prepare for college? What do you think they need to bring with them?
Honestly, I think that mostly depends on what course you want to do, because I can't speak for everyone, obviously. But generally, I think you just come prepared. Just come with what you think is going to prepare you for your subject. Especially as a media student, I know that everything is done online. So most people have digital notebooks, but as I prefer, I still like a notebook, a pen, and maybe a folder, just little notepad, where you can jot little things. I like that. And I just think your teacher is going to tell you what you need. So I think your first day, don't be so nervous, don't be scared. Just take what you know is going to be good for you for that lesson. And then when you get to that lesson, just ask your teachers, and then I'm 100% sure they're going to tell you what you need.
That's really good. Now, were you nervous then when you first started Long Road?
Very nervous. I was very nervous.
Is that because you'd come from quite a distance away there? Obviously, you were at Castle Manor Academy, which is in Suffolk, isn't it?
It's in AVO Suffolk, yes.
Yeah, so that's quite a way to go. How did you get to college? How do you get to college on the weeks you're in?
So I take a bus from AVO to Cambridge, and it's easier with the bus pass that you get, or you can get a smart card and it's easier. You can pay weekly or termly, and it's actually really comfortable because you just sit in the bus, but the journey can take about 1 hour from where I stay. So which is actually kind of annoying that you have to wake so early than other people. But at the end of the day, it's really enjoyable, especially when you're with your friends and you're coming from like a old city. So everyone from that city know themselves, and then you'll come to the same college. But I think the annoying thing is just COVID, but you still got friends, but you're not just allowed to do it in the groups.
Yeah, so obviously there's lots of you come from the Haverhill area there, and you're all hopefully enjoying the long journey to and from Long Road. It's worth it, is it?
Yes, it is. It is.
That's lovely to know. Thank you so much, Fian. Let me now go over to Natty. Natty, hi.
Hello.
Hello, Natty. Tell us your full name, please. I'd like to know what school you're at and what year you're in and what subjects you're currently taking with us.
Hello. First, thank you everyone for coming to see us. I'm Natty Berman. I came from Swansea Village College. I'm in year 12 and I study biology, chemistry and physical education.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now you're from Swansea Village College. I think that's quite different in size to Long Road. So what's it like being at Long Road, and how different is that for you from being at your old school?
Being at Long Road, it's firstly a lot bigger than Swansea. It's also a lot more of a relaxed environment. I think that's what struck out to me the most. There's no school uniform, and you don't need to be in school when you don't have lessons. So either you can be out of school in Cambridge, or you have study groups and self-study where you can do independent learning to really get the most out of it if you would like. So I think the freedom at Long Road was the biggest change which I felt.
Okay, that's really interesting. That's good to know as well. And that's really benefited you in your learning, has it?
It has, yeah. Having that free time allows me to arrange how I would like to study, and it doesn't break down into what people want me to do when. It's all down to my personal opinion and when I'm ready to revise.
Okay, that's really good news. Now you've got sort of sciencey sort of subjects there. Why did you choose biology, chemistry, and PE?
I like the sciences. I like the anatomy and how it works. I feel like it's just such a massive topic that there's so much to learn. It's a huge opportunity to gain as much experience as you can. I would also like to study medicine at university, so those subjects complement very well with studying medicine.
Okay, fantastic. Medicine is one heck of a discipline at the moment, and of course they're working 100% hard like they always do. I'd have thought you might have been put off from being a medic. Why do you still want to do it?
I always found it interesting how people can go in potentially in the worst moment of their lives into a hospital, and something magical happens inside the hospital and they can come out with a smile on their face. So I would like to learn and eventually be part of that middle magic.
Fantastic. That's brilliant news. I'm sure you will get there eventually if you keep working hard. Hopefully your teachers are inspiring you in your 3 subjects.
Yeah, they have.
Good stuff. Now, you did say that the college is a big college. What's the campus like? And just give us a little bit of a view from your side as a year 1, what this campus is like.
It's huge. There's plenty of fields. There's even a small forest at the back. There's also a cafeteria where I can get hot food. There's a deli for sandwiches and snacks, and even a Costa, which I was not expecting from a mile away, but it's definitely not a bad thing. As Daisy mentioned earlier, although it's huge, buildings have blocks, are called blocks, and it's all really well laid out. For example, biology and chemistry tend to be in B block. So as long as you know where B block is, you've done most of it already. So actually finding the way around campus, it's not as big of a deal as I would have imagined initially.
Okay, that's fantastic news. And like you, I love the idea of a Costa coffee on site. I shouldn't be telling a future medic this, but wow, do I drink a lot of coffee from there. It's really worth having on site, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, yeah, let me have a look then. Let's ask you another question. We've got all these wonderful future students watching us tonight, and their parents and their carers. What advice are you going to give to these year 11s who are preparing to move up to sixth form?
My biggest advice, firstly, is to have an open mind. There's so many enrichment opportunities at Long Road. You have different sports teams, so there's hockey and basketball and multiple others as well. There's also several clubs and communities which you can join. So I would say keep an open mind if you'd like to join, because there's just so many opportunities which you could get involved in. And secondly, I would say come prepared. You don't want to be on your first year at sixth form and just be in a crazy mode like that. Where's my pen and pencil? You want to come prepared, and I would say I agree. You should bring a folder because it arranges all your work and all your different courses very nicely, and it saves a lot of hassle. And my final bit of advice is, if you're going to come in by bus or by train, then take the right one.
That's a real good piece of advice, yeah, especially if you're coming from distance, as you say. Really good bit of advice there. Thank you, Natty. I want to go back to Daisy because I know that Natty wants to be a medic. I kind of know, I think that Fionn also is looking at sort of media communications, which is brilliant. I know Tom well enough to know that university is going to be hopefully York, and it's to do psychology. Are you thinking of university? And if so, what subjects are you aiming to study there?
Yeah, I'm thinking of going to university, and I'd also really like to study psychology.
Another psychology. Wow, so you're a year one with us. You've only been here one term, and yet the psychology teacher's inspired you that much?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It really is an interesting subject, isn't it? And I can see why it's such a popular subject. And, you know, the great thing about being in a large college like ours, I mean, there's 2,400 students. It's a bit bigger than your normal school and the ones that you've come to, and the ones that our year 11s who are hopefully still watching us now for the last few minutes are also at. But the great thing is, and this is what I think is a real sort of truly unique sort of selling point of Long Road is let's take psychology, for example, there. You've got a teacher, but actually the psychology department, I think, have got 6 or 7 psychology teachers. I think that's a real benefit to the department. Do you think the same, Daisy?
Yeah, I think it's really good because they can all share their expertise and you get lots of different viewpoints and opinions. So, yeah.
It is good. And I think it's the same for media. I know, and Fionn, you're doing media at the moment. There must be, I think there's more media teachers than there are media students. It's a fantastic group of teachers. Am I right?
Yes. I had a different teacher last year, and this year I have 2 new teachers.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic. And you're still enjoying it? You're still loving it, yeah?
It's perfect, yes.
Brilliant. That's so good. Let's go to our other year 2 then, which is Tom. Tom, now, I know you want to do psychology there, but you're also doing an EPQ, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain to our audience this evening what an EPQ is, and what is the EPQ you're doing?
Yeah, so an EPQ, so it's the extended project, and it's about half an A level, and it's pretty much entirely independent work. So you get to pick your own subject that you want to look into. It can be relating to what you're learning already, or with something completely different. And you spend, I want to say, 200 hours like researching it, and then like producing something at the end, like an essay or like a video or like a booklet. And my one is about secondary school children and what factors then affect the grades they get at the end of their 5 years in secondary school. For me, it's really interesting to be able to like look into that, such a niche topic, but with the support of staff. So like, I know that whilst I'm getting my independent study and I'm interested in it, I've always got someone I can go to, but like, I need help. I'm a bit confused here, and there's always experts that can help you with that.
Yeah, exactly what Daisy said there. There's different sort of psychologists around. Some of them will give a different sort of view on what you're doing and give you a different idea to help you research. Am I right?
Yeah, so I had a different teacher to the one I have this year in psychology, and they definitely teach very differently, and they have different expertise and different viewpoints on how psychology, because it's such a broad subject as it is, and they have definitely look at it very differently. And it's so interesting to be able to see the like different viewpoints coming across just from our like team at the college.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great news to know. Now, I know you're doing an EPQ. Would you be strongly suggesting then to Daisy and Natty that they maybe sort of look at EPQs in year 2 when they are sort of looking at universities?
I would definitely recommend it, because it looks good to a university, and it gives you something extra to do that interests you and expands on your knowledge. And I think it's a lot, obviously, to take on. It's another like half of the subject, but there is the support there. But also, because it's independent, it's up to you kind of to fit it in when you want to fit it in. So I'd recommend it. Yeah, it's really fun.
Okay, that is a good point. And as you said, it's independent there. So actually it's mimicking that when you get to university and you're an undergraduate, actually you will be doing lots of independent work. So it's almost starting to prepare you for university, I believe.
Yeah, so I'm writing, my one is an essay I'm writing at the end of mine. So I think it's definitely preparing me for university a lot, because there's so much of the independent reading and then, writing and arguing my own points for that.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Thank you so much for that. Wow, it's nearly 8 o'clock. I'm sure our audiences, our attendees, the year 11s, their parents and their carers are waiting to go and get a nice cup of tea or maybe a late snack or something. So we better, I suppose, sign off and say goodbye. I just want to thank everybody for staying watching with us, but also I'd love these 4 wonderful students to give us all a wave and say goodbye to our lovely audience.
Goodbye.
There we go. We hope to see you soon. We hope to have an open evening in the summer when you can come and see this fantastic college of ours. We'll be here to greet you. Thank you so much for listening. See you soon. And don't forget to apply to Long Road. Thank you now. Bye-bye.